welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be doing an art time lapse inspired by a specific quote. The quote is, "I wouldn't change you for the world, but I would change the world for you." This quote was something that I had done a piece of artwork on. I think it was in 2020. So this is a part 2 of the artwork, kind of like a revision of that piece of how I see it today. The original piece of artwork was inspired by my first child, and now I'm doing a revision on it inspired by my second. It's a message for my kids that I hope to instill upon them, that I will back them and support them in whatever they do. And I don't want them to change what they love, what they do in any other way to fit what society regards as normal or considered successful. I want them to grow up to be happy people. So if that means that requires changing the world standard of what is considered to be successful or happy, so be it. So I think overall maybe it's too simple-minded, but kids, I would not change you for the world, but I would definitely change the world for you. And as a mother, I think I should start by setting an example for myself for the change I want to see in the world. These might be little things that I will do from day to day, maybe learning to recycle a little bit more, reuse as much as I can. These are little things that I'm trying to add on to my routine from day to day. I'm hoping it will create a better world for you. With all the urgency and news that we've been getting over the last years on climate change, I'm beginning to be more and more anxious and worry about what kind of world our children will grow up into. I feel like I've been pretty lucky so far in all the opportunities that I've had and all the things I got to experience, and I really hope that my children will have the opportunity to experience the same things, whether it is something you will find in nature or just the luxury of maybe having clean running water or like electricity or access to the variety of foods that we have readily available at our supermarket that we do today. There's just so much uncertainty in this world today. I feel like if anything I can do right now to preserve those opportunities for my children, I hope that I will be persistent and brave enough to chart those, opportunities. So this piece is inspired for my children. I wanted to do something very delicate but also very raw at the same time. I've chosen a color palette that I normally don't paint with, something a little bit duller, and then slowly adding on highlights. Currently I'm still using Holbein's acrylic wash, which I really enjoy doing because the colors come out very matte and yet very vibrant, and I can layer the colors on top of one another slowly at a pace that I would prefer. So like watercolor, I can always go back and paint on parts that I want to improve on or paint over. So I like the flexibility of this media. As you can see, I use a tiny soy sauce dish to add my paint onto, and I dilute it with water to give it a little bit of water color effect, and then slowly I wait for it to dry and then add another layer. I'm coloring in the globe right now with a turquoise and also a violet after I finish painting the girl. I want her hair to be kind of more raw and not necessarily totally brushed into a set way. And I want her head to rest on the earth, as I don't want her to change from the purity of how she is naturally now. There's just so much beauty in the innocence of a child, and I hope I can continue to preserve that for my children. I think over the years I've grown an affinity for violet, which is not a color I intuitively say is my favorite color, but I find that it's very versatile, especially when I combine it using cobalt and also magenta to get the color. I really like the variations of the shades of violet that I get from that. If you enjoy this type of content, please consider subscribing, and sharing. It really does help with the channel. Now I'm just taking my time painting in her hair with a little bit more water to add translucency, and make hair a little bit more dreamy, because I think that's part of my style. I'm still trying to discover my style, but I think I enjoy things being a little bit whimsical and dreamy. And I can see her dreaming on top of the globe as well. So here's my final piece. It is called I Wouldn't Change You for the World, but I Would Change the World for You. Thank you for following along with this art time lapse. I hope you enjoy this video, and I will see you in my next art time lapse. Take care, everyone. I'll see you then.